Check podcast. Today, we got a little bit of a different one for you guys. As you guys know, my boy JGOD, my right-hand man, always with me in this, bro. Hey, JGOD, how we feeling today? We got a bunch of stuff to talk about. We got updates, we got leaks, there's so much things going on right now. Let's get into the what? You want to get into the update first and then leaks, or let's go update and then leaks. I like that. Talk to me, JGOD. What you thinking, man? What's up, Val?
Well, I think there's a lot of cool stuff in the update. I think obviously ranked play is probably the most notable thing. You see people streaming more hours than ever, which is kind of nice. I think as a result of that, people's viewership slightly dropped just because everyone's on. So it's like, who do they have to watch? I think the Nick Merck skin with the Tim the Tap Man, very cool. Like they actually did them very well. I know we got to see them a little early when we went to Raven. So that was like, bro. Shoot, the rumors were like, out. How do they know?
Yo, I know the rumors were going around for like a while that they had their own skins, and then when they told us like, hey, you guys better not leak this, y'all better. If they didn't, bro, I made sure I was like, I'm not saying nothing. I didn't see anything. My eyes are closed. But those skins, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know they could literally make them like 1-to-1. Like,
they look very good.
It's very good. Like literally, Tim's hitboxes are gonna be fucking huge. Like it's massive, bro. Anyways, but those come out. Those come out on the 31st, I believe. I kind of wish they didn't. I feel like they should have probably released them like soon after. I hope that the hype doesn't die out, because like I don't know why they're releasing like maybe 2 to 3 weeks after they're showing it right now. I wish they would have done it like, let's say this week, or so that way like the hype is still there, because I feel like after 3 weeks it kind of like know.
I also feel like they should have done like that referral code where like their homies or whoever, like they did with Fortnite, where like Ninja got his like 5 people that could rock his Ninja skin.
True.
You know what I mean? So that other people, so obviously that would be their crews of people that they generally play with, whether it's like Cloaksy or each other or whatever, and then they just rock each other's skin, and it's kind of like,
that'd be sick. That would have been sick, bro.
But
shoot. Okay, so let's talk about the update, guys. Let's talk about the update. Dare I say that this might be a W update? I don't want anybody to crucify me, but dare I say this update to me, right? I get JGOD, I want to hear your perspective. If somebody was to tell me, like, I think the only other update that's been an L, or like, sorry, the only other update that's been a W was probably when they added the movement stuff. That's like, the plating while running. That was probably the only W update that I think we've gotten out of this whole 6-7 months that we've had. What are your thoughts on it? I personally thought it was sick.
I think it's a net positive W. I think for multiplayer, maybe not so much, because like really nothing changed there. They got a map that most people probably won't play because it's like a 8v8, 10v10 style map with 6 people. So it plays slow. But beyond that, I think, you got 2 new pistols. You got the new camo in the raid. I don't know if you've gone and tried that yet.
True.
That's pretty cool. I saw people jump on and try that haven't played any of the episodes. So that was like the smartest thing they could do, is just do stuff like that. They stealth updated the Cherry Blossom camo, which I didn't unlock. I didn't unlock it all.
Me neither.
So I don't have it, but they unlocked it, so it's animated. But you know what's funny is when we talked to them, I was telling them that they needed to do these things. So I don't know if like I'm not going to take credit for it, but
take credit, bro.
It's kind of one of those things where we were talking for a long time that they said, people do not care about your camos unless they're animated. Like, I'm just going to stick to my mastery camo. So whether they took that in and said, all right, let's do this. And it probably didn't even take a crazy amount, but it's cool. And then I think the DMZ, they added a whole new map and underground bunker. And I don't know if you knew this.
They added a whole new map to DMZ?
Yeah. So basically how it works is it's in the top left of the map.
Okay.
There's like the area that's mostly empty. There's apparently what you do is you load into the Al Mazrah DMZ map.
Okay.
And then you can loot up, get fully kitted. And then when you go over there, you go into the bunker, and there's like 3 different entrances or something like that. Chad will probably correct me, but there's like 3 different entrances. And then when you go in, there's a puzzle to get into the building, and it takes you to a different map. And then in that map, it's mostly AI. You get like 30 minutes. There's some bosses in there. And if you gather all these like weapon parts and you extract with them, you get like a whole new bundle. Like a blueprint that only like 5 people have right now because it's that difficult to do. And
is it cool? Like, is it a good skin?
It looks good. Yeah. It looks good.
For what gun?
I don't even know. It's red and it has its own thing. But yeah, I'll show you.
Why did they get all the cool stuff to DMZ?
I don't know, but it's like really dope. Like in terms of the way they did that, like it's cool content, and DMZ got way more. And then obviously for Warzone, we got ranked. And one of the biggest concerns that people had was about the hacker situation. And I would say that I don't think anti-cheat will ever be perfect. And anyone who expects it to be is an idiot. But I will say that from watching several hours, the actual like volume of that is so small that it's almost non-existent.
I mean, personally playing it, like for those of y'all, I mean, let me just throw this out there. The reason why there's not 4 people in this podcast today is quite literally because I asked like so many people to come and do this, and they're all like, sorry, I'm trying to race to top 250. So I said, all right, me and JGOD, let's run it up, man. So everybody's on their grind for ranked. But yeah, so let's just talk about the update in general. Like when it comes to the anti-cheat, like I agree with you. Like it literally, it's never going to be perfect. I don't think it ever will be. It would always be a tug of war, constantly fighting between the two, right? But right now, based off my personal opinion, I've been playing ranked every day for at least like 8+ hours.
You're almost Crimson, right?
Yeah, I'm about to hit Crimson right now. Like today, I'm hoping to do like a long one and potentially hit top 250. But who knows, right? And so I've not ran into a cheater. Maybe like one person that I was like, okay, this guy might be walling, but not like any blatant hackers, right? So in my opinion, right now, the anti-cheat is working really, really damn good from based off what I've seen. You know, and is that going to be the case in like a week or two? Probably not, because these cheating companies are going to find a way to, you know, get around shit. So but right now, so far, anti-cheat is good. Let's talk about ranked real quick. And like, so we were really concerned about how ranked was going to play out and how, you know, kills were going to matter and everything like that. There's a couple things in here in ranked right now that I'm going to say are whack because people are abusing the system.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
But overall, if I'm going to say ranked W or L, I'm going to say as of right now, no, I'm not kidding. Right now, W. Based off what I've seen, ranked is a W, and I'm addicted. Like right now, I'm like, okay, after the podcast, I'm ready to go. I'm going to grind, you know? Yep. Like it's fun. But let's talk about, I guess, right now there's this glitch. And, you know, we've seen some tweets, you know, and people are using this glitch pretty much. If you rock restock and you spam square to change your perks, right? If you have another perk package on, you just spam square.
From your inventory, from your backpack.
Yeah, from your backpack. It gives you unlimited lethals and tacticals. So what people are doing is they're getting drill charges, and if they know somebody's in a window, or team's in a window, they keep spamming square. They throw 10 drill charges and just kill people through, you know, through buildings and stuff.
And even if they don't kill them, they flush them out for easy kills. Yeah. So either way, it's just kind of annoying.
It definitely puts you at a huge disadvantage. I dealt with it. Like, I'm gonna be honest. I'll call them out. They're all friends of mine, but they know that that's BS, right? So like, let's say Huskers killed us with it. Gary, Hisoka, Shifty. I don't think Shifty himself was doing it, but like they're all
that group,
yeah. And these guys are all right now in the top 10. Obviously, I'm not saying that's the reason why they're in the top 10. They're all fucking disgusting, but like it just sucks. Like, and I saw Hisoka tweet out something that was like, "Oh, I'd rather get caught using it than get caught without it, because then I'll die," or something like that, something along those lines. So yeah, it's one of those things. Like I know that they're aware of it. They, like Call of Duty already knows this. I've already sent it to some devs. Yep. They know this. So I'm wondering why it's still in the game. Why even restock is in the game right now? Take it out, because people are abusing it like crazy, and I'm getting like 12 drill charges to the face. Yeah. So that's making things a little weird and a little like, you know, like, and then on top of that, JGOD, you want to talk about the whole SBMM right now?
Yeah. So I think they underestimated how much people would grind, because once you hit Diamond on the first day, there weren't enough people to actually fill the lobbies, because Diamond is kind of where the cutoff is, where it starts to like change who is in your lobby. I think it goes from plat to diamond or whatever the actual thing is. We'll find out more once it actually works.
Yeah.
But essentially, so for like probably like 12 hours, if you hit diamond, you essentially couldn't play ranked anymore.
Yeah.
So what they did is they did like a hot fix to say, all right, well, we'll loosen up the matchmaking algorithm so that pretty much almost anybody could get into anybody's lobby, essentially.
Technically, yeah.
So as at least until the brackets are a little bit more flushed out. So basically right now, people that are in Crimson lobbies are playing probably a decent amount of Crimson players, but for the vast majority, they're playing random. Bronze, silver, gold, plat, all the way up.
So right now it's, yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, so right now it's actually easier for them to farm their SR, and it's making it look like the grind is way easier than it actually is.
Yeah.
Because once they actually flipped the switch and there was enough diamond players, these 20+ kill games, probably not happening.
True. I actually was going to talk to Sage about this. So last night, it was like, we were up till like 6 a.m. playing, right? Last night, like at 5 or 4 a.m., the lobbies, literally, they weren't filling. Like, it was taking a long time. And when we finally got lobbies, every single lobby was really good players. Like, it was crazy. Like last night, I don't know if they flicked it back on or whatever.
Yeah.
But last night, I can say those lobbies that we were playing, every single person that we fought, what I saw, like literally all like 10 people in the top 10 right now in the leaderboard, we were playing against them yesterday. And Scumming, Flanked, a bunch, literally Huskers, everybody was all in that. And those lobbies, I told the boys, I was like, yo, I think this is the feel for what we're going to get, because there's not enough people in Crimson, right? So like, that's why we're getting these crazy lobbies. And there's not a lot of people up right now. So the only people up and playing in our division are grinders. So last night's lobbies were literally insane. Yeah. We had to be locked.
And I saw that as the night was going, because I had multiple streams open. I was kind of watching the race to see who'd get there, because I saw Hisoka and Mutex and Smith. They were all like right there.
Yeah.
And then like then they had a loss, and it was like, oh shoot, now they lost the lead, you know? So it was entertaining to watching that. But you saw them, they were clearly going against lobbies where there were sweatier Crimson players in them. So I think what it tries to do is like, okay, if there's 30 teams that have Crimson players, those all get put in a lobby, and then like, oh, cool, we couldn't matchmake now. Then the rest, we fill it in. Yeah. So I think, whereas the pub, you might have like, realistically, like one iridescent team, and the rest of people are like average. Yeah. Like silver and below. This one is like 10 teams that are iridescent, and then the rest is like, silver and below, you know? Somebody
came into the chat and like, they're like, God damn, are these scrim lobbies? Like, because they're like, somebody asked, is this a tournament? And I guess they didn't know about like that, right? But it was insane. Anyways, but all in all, I think ranked is a huge W. It's single-handedly bringing back like a lot of competitive players, not the casual player, I feel like, but a lot of people are saying like, I haven't played in so long, now I'm playing ranked, even though the game doesn't feel too different, which we'll get onto that on the core mechanics of the game. It feels great, in my opinion, ranked, to be able to grind for something, and a lot of the competitive people are back, in my opinion, and it's good to know. It's good to see. It's good to see, man. But let's get into the actual update itself. JGOD, what are your thoughts on the update before I go into this? Tell me what you're thinking.
Well, I think for the past season and a half, 2 seasons, because we had that big debate about movement and TTK.
Yeah.
Basically, for the most part, it feels like neither of those really changed.
True.
I think the movement stuff, they added a 6%. Cool, they added that number in there, but it's like, who's actually sliding? Watch a stream for 10 hours, nobody slides. Watch the pros compete, nobody slides. I can't imagine a scenario where sliding is practical over a dive. Yeah. Like, it just doesn't make sense. So I think that part's kind of like whatever. They didn't actually change anything because it's not functional. I think the other part with all the armor weapon balancing that's supposed to make the TTK feel slower essentially did nothing. Yeah. So, so nothing's changed fundamentally with the game.
Yeah. So okay. So a couple things. Let's talk about movement and time to kill, because I know a lot of people have been like talking about that, right? Movement and time to kill. The movement on the game right now, it's not what people like will say and like, oh, I want slide canceling, I want like crazy fast, you know, like I want to be able to finesse people. What they did was, and they literally put out like, or increase the speed of like swapping weapons, increase the speed of like pulling up your gun, putting away your gun for like 90% of the guns, right? So with that, it technically speaking made the game quote unquote faster. First thing I talked to Diaz about when we talked about this thing, he was like, yo, like, what do you think about the movement or whatever? He was like, honestly, or no, I asked him, what do you think about the update? And he was like, honestly, I really enjoyed it, and I think the movement feels better. Like, he's like, I could definitely feel like it plays faster. This is not to say that there's like side canceling, twisted movement. No, there's no twisted.
Maybe aim down sight faster, because now your mag doesn't slow you down by a whole second or whatever.
Yeah,
when you're aiming down sight.
Things as far as like the fluidity feels faster, but movement itself is not.
What about the
correct.
mantling?
Yeah, so mantling, I noticed that too. So they pretty much made mantling faster, and then they increased the distance for one-hand mantling. So there's sometimes where you mantle, and then you're stuck in like a little thing, and then you come up, right? Now it's like you use one hand and you just dive over quick.
There's more scenarios where you'll actually mantle over.
Yeah. So things are faster, like swapping weapons. You do feel quote unquote more cracked. The way that I put it, the way that I said it was like, if before we had a 50-pound weighted vest on, now after this update, it feels like there's a 30-pound weighted vest. Yeah. So it still doesn't feel like Warzone 1, where I feel like I'm light as a feather, you know, being able to do whatever I want. Now it feels like there's a 30-pound weighted vest on me. I think there's definitely drastic changes needing to be made still in this game for movement and time to kill, which I'll let you touch on the time to kill. I was gonna just brush up on the movement, but in my opinion, I will say this. I think this is the first. I gotta be careful with how I word this. I think this is the first real update with certain studios getting involved significantly more this update.
Well, I'd say even the other quality of life stuff that we didn't touch on, it's W, like the portable buy, unlimited UAVs. Like there's so much like W's in there. But talking about TTK, one of the things that they did was they used very confusing language, I think, for most people when you look at it, where they said they gave a bunch of weapons a max armor damage, and then there's a min armor damage. And they actually work kind of an opposite. So max armor damage is usually going to be impacting weapons at close range, because that's when they do the most damage. And then the min damage is usually at the furthest ranges.
Okay.
Also, close range, the shot placement that does the most damage is a headshot. So that's where it's going to impact the most. At long range, the lowest damage is going to be the limbs. So that's where it's going to help the most for weapons that underperform. So they did the combination where they added a bunch of different values for close range and long range for several different weapons.
Yeah.
And what this really does is at the close range, it makes it so that whereas before, maybe if you got 3 headshots, you would instantly delete someone because it'd be like super low shots to kill.
Yeah.
Well, now with this armor thing for the first headshots, it caps it. So you don't get the full headshot damage. You get like equivalent if you shot chest, which has a slower TTK. So even though most of the time you're not getting 3 headshots to get this insane TTK, it like reduces the volume of times that those times would happen where you would feel like you got instantly deleted. Typically, if like you're running up a stairs or something like that, and you feel like, damn, how the hell did he kill me so quick? Less of those instances should still happen. I mean, they could still happen, but less of them should happen because now maybe you need 5 headshots, which is like really unrealistic unless you were cheating.
Yeah.
So, but the actual chest numbers, the limbs, all the other shots to kill, don't get impacted by this at all.
Yeah.
So not only do they feel the same, they're the exact same. You know, nothing changes with them. So that's how that part works. So in reality, the overall like number that most of the time we use for TTK is a combination shot where we're using. This isn't really change that number because we factor in that you're not landing a bazillion headshots.
True.
So these fluky TTKs that happen that are super fast happen less often, which is cool. But the actual base TTK is still the problem, where you can die in 520 milliseconds with a Lockman sub, which is what a lot of people are using in ranked because it kills fast, has a good damage per mag, all that stuff. Now, on the other hand, which does help weapons but didn't change the meta, is the long range minimum damage. So this would be like a weapon like the M13. Let's say if you hit limb shots, its TTK would be trash. What they do is if it does a certain amount, now they buffed it on limb damage for armor. So now it might take one less shot to kill if you land limb shots. So it'll make theoretically certain guns kill slightly faster at range, but most of those guns sucked, so people aren't using them anyway. So yeah, it's like a Lockman 556 could be part of that, where maybe it's good enough to compete, but on paper it might, but in reality it doesn't. You know, it's kind of one of those.
I wonder how, like, okay, why are they making things a little bit more like, it feels complicated? Because before, it feels like back in the day, right? Like Warzone 1, Caldera, even before, it was like, hey, we nerfed the FFAR. Instead of it being 5 bullets to kill, it is now 6 bullets to kill, time to kill. Why are they making, like, the way you're describing it feels like it's like, to the average person, that shit's rocket science. Like, it is. Like
most of that, like a lot of that information, like obviously I'm able to digest it and then process it so I could say it. But True Game Data did like a full video on kind of how that works. Okay. And then with his site, you can kind of look at the TTKs and looked at, like, basically nothing changed. Okay. So because if you use shot combination, if you use headshot, oh yeah, TTK got, it slowed down heavily. But are we really all shooting headshots? No. So I think the reality is they're doing that because that's like a workaround. This is theory. This isn't anything I've been. So is that this is a workaround so that they can actually try to increase the TTK without actually changing the values, which would impact multiplayer, right? Gotcha. So this is maybe Raven's creative idea. This is how they solve it, but like it's just a step in the right direction. But the reality is the real only solve is they would have to make it so that 3 plates would be worth more health. I think that's the only way they can do that.
Okay. Yeah. So I see what you mean.
So for example, if we wanted extra 50 health, instead of raising 50 health, we would just do 50 divided by 3 and each plate would be worth like 67 or something like that.
I see what you mean. All right.
Yeah. So then you would still get 250 or whatever, 300, but like 100 would still be health. So it'd be closer to like Iron Trials, but not 500, or Titanium Trials, but not 400. Not 400. It would be down to 300. So it'd be 200 and 100. Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like this is what, you know, obviously we talked about this in the last podcast, going to the dev studios and all that. Like, I feel like there's going to be a lot of workarounds for the rest of the year. And based off everything that we know, things are not going to really change like drastically until, let's say, a new studio takes over as the head, right? That's the way it feels like. And so right now I feel like they want to, like, certain probably teams want to change the time to kill while certain teams don't. And like, it's like, okay, how do we find a happy medium to where we're changing the time to kill but not crazy? So for example, this one, it's pretty much just made time to kill more consistent and not have crazy outliers. You know,
exactly. But it's still fast.
Yeah, it's still fast. Time to go is still crazy fast. But instead of like every once in a while you die in like crazy ridiculous fast, you're just dying crazy fast every single time. You know, so time to kill, I'm hoping they change. They nerfed a lot of guns, like a lot of guns. They made things like go ahead.
And I'll say that like it doesn't need to be drastic. It's like there's really only 3 or 4 weapons that are outliers. Like if they make it so that the Lockman sub killed in like an extra bullet or 2, like it would still probably be really good. But then you could also use almost all the SMGs. Same thing with the Vaznev. You could use almost all the SMGs except for probably like the mini Bach or something. Because I don't think that's redeemable unless it got like a super buff. You know?
The mini Bach. That gun would literally, if that gun's ever meta, that would be insane. You could fight like 3 squads with that shit, bro, with that clip size. But okay, so I guess let's go over real quick the speed run the update itself. Okay, so time to kill, quote unquote, got better, fixed, but not really, didn't do anything, only made it so that way headshots aren't that crazy anymore, which is a good step. Again, a minor step in the right direction, but again, we've said this before, we should be taking leaps, not steps, at this point with 7 months into the game. Then movement. Again, the best way to describe it, animations feel faster. Everything kind of feels like it's snappier. Again, the best way to summarize it, it feels like if I had a 50-pound weighted vest before, now that weighted vest is like a 30-pound weighted vest. It should again, take off the fucking vest if I had to give some advice. And a huge W. Listen, so far, I mean, I've had maybe like 1 to 2, but servers surprisingly have been pretty damn good. There's been, for me, I'm talking my experience. I don't know. I've heard some things in EU that the servers are really bad. But for me personally, every server that I've gone into out of the last 2 days, because this update went live 2 days ago, I've only had 2 lobbies that were laggy. And one being like minorly laggy and one being like excessively like I'm on 2 frames. So they did release a statement saying that servers felt a little bit better. Yeah, I don't know. That's JGOD, have you played at all or not really?
I only played the other stuff to level up, unlock, and do the challenges. I did the raid a couple times.
Okay.
And then mostly I had tabs up while I was, but most people haven't had those issues. I think even in general, most people, yeah, no, they haven't had a lot of those issues. Okay,
so yeah, that's basically what I've what I've noticed with the game is that, and they added, honestly, a big reason why I think the game feels faster is, and I love this change. I don't know who came up with it. I'm assuming Raven did. But the perk dropping on kills, I think is amazing because you can get into fights and immediately, like, people love to like actually feel like they're equipped, right? You get into a fight and let's say you're trading with your teammates. If your teammates win, they buy you back, you can instantly land on your loot and get your perks back instantly, or you can buy your guns. Like, it made the game feel faster because now you almost always have fast hands and you almost always have double time. You know, so I think that's a huge W. There's a lot of things.
The quality of life stuff with the buy stations, the loadouts, like all that stuff is just good. It just speeds up the game because it makes it feel more like COD than a battle royale, which is okay. Like, if you don't like COD, that's okay. If you only played Warzone because you wanted it to be a battle royale, okay. But COD is for COD people, and you know that's kind of what people who play COD want to play. Like, you want to play battle royale, we would go play other stuff. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
true, my man spitting right now. So yeah, so like, listen, the game is, and I'm gonna be honest. I use this to kind of like, you know, transition, but the game is not where it should be in my opinion. But it's in now. I feel like it's in a okay state with ranked. Ranked will definitely keep people entertained, at least the competitive community. The casuals, not so much, for about 4 weeks. I think literally until season 4, like, people will be able to grind and get through this fast. Now it's like, okay, enough BSing. Yes, this was a great update. This was a W update. Finally, like, this feels like what a normal update should have been. Now, how are they going to one-up this in season 4? How are they going to take this to the next level? You know, and we have 7 months into the game, right? 7, 8 months. We only have how many more months JGOD left until the new game comes out, which we will, you know.
Yeah. Well, we were supposed to get rumored to get a trailer in August. Okay. So we're talking June, July, August. So 3 months, we're supposed to get a trailer. Before that, we'll probably get some leaks, as we normally do. We might get the chance to play it early. You know, that's kind of if we're in the cool kids crew. I don't know if they'll do COD next like they did last year.
I hope they do. That was a good one.
You know, if not, they'll keep it smaller, and hopefully we're part of that group. But we'll see, because when Modern Warfare 2 dropped, we got to play it in June.
True. That's true. Some of y'all did. Some of y'all did.
Yeah. Well, weren't you there?
I wasn't at that one. Not the one in June.
But we got to play it in June. So that's only like a month away. So I got to check my emails. No, I don't know. But I'm saying we'll find out information hopefully soon. But yeah, we got a few months out. And then obviously November 10th is supposed to be the release date for Modern Warfare 3. Which
would, let's get into, hold on, before we get into, so is there, before this update, is there anything else you want to talk about? UAVs, they made them unlimited. These are got a lot of good quality of life updates, unlimited UAVs, but now they changed them to where they only ping like on a certain radius based off whoever called in the UAV, which it's actually not as bad as I thought it would be. It's good because there's,
but you're also playing ranked.
Yes, so true. I don't know how it's gonna play.
Like for me, the current UAV, the way it works now, is conducive to how I generally like to play the game anyways. I was talking about this a little earlier with stream. Is like I said, you know, it'd be cool to play with, let's say, Mutex, for example, right? Or even you or before all you guys.
Yeah.
But what ends up happening is more often than not, you guys split off and do your own damn thing.
True.
So then, like, that's not necessarily conducive to how I want to play.
Yeah.
I want to kind of like not hold hands, but like work as a team around the map the way people do in ranked. So I think that play style is very conducive to how I enjoy playing the game.
Yeah.
And then also like the mini map functions, and it doesn't really matter because you're really not going to split off that far from your teammates.
Yeah, true. I don't know. Yeah, I wonder how that's going to play out. I get it. They found a way to kind of balance the sweats, right? And so far, I wonder how it's going to play out in Pullze, but we are playing ranked, and right now we're getting cracked on ranked, so I get it. But I like that they made when we had this question if like different ones, like different buy stations are going to be like have different equipment, but no, everything's the same, and certain things are like have unlimited stuff, and certain things have like, you know, like 2 to 3 items in there. I like that they did that. Honestly, again, this is a good start. It's a good start, but again, we're way past the start. If this would have been the first update that the game came out with, I'd be like, oh shit, like that's cool, you know?
Yeah,
right, that's cool. So like, but you know, we're 7 months into the game, 8 months into the game. What is there really left to be done, right? Like, is it just, are we just going straight into are they scrapping this shit and just going, let's just wait for Modern Warfare 3? You know, I don't know. But let's talk about the leaks now. But before we do, chat, listen. I got, for everybody in here, guys, we have our first ever ad. Yes, chat, you heard it fucking here right. Our first ever ad. Can I get a W ad in the chat? Hey, listen, chat. Today stream is sponsored by BetterHelp, chat. BetterHelp, as you guys know, man, a lot of us, we suffer with mental health, man. So BetterHelp is a place where you can go to reach out with mental health advice or anything like that, chat. Guys, I'm telling you right now, obviously you guys know, chat, you know, even me, I'm going through some stuff right now with my little puppy. He's a little sick, bro. So chat, today's stream, we wanted to make sure, you know, if we ever do an ad, it's a good one for a good reason, if it's a good help, chat. So, you know, BetterHelp, chat, if y'all want to go to betterhelp.com, and that's betterhelp.com/Pullze Check. You can get 10% off your first month, chat. So again, thank you so much to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's stream. We love you guys. All right, JGOD. Now let's go into the next one. Let's talk about some leaks. All right, and I'm not talking about me. All right, so look, let's go over this. I'm gonna bring this up on screen so everybody can see this. And let's look at this together. So this is a tweet. Why can't I scroll up? Fuck. I can scroll down, but I can't scroll up. Anyways, all right, whatever. So this is a tweet by Modern Warzone. And these are the things that just recently leaked. And I'm really excited for this. I'm excited, but again, it's the same COD cycle. They let us down, we get excited. They let us down, we get excited. Fuck it, bro. At this point, I'm just allowing it to take me, bro. But listen, sequel to Modern Warfare 2, pretty much what we have right now. Originally, this was supposed to be a what's it called, like a 2-year cycle. For whatever reason, maybe they saw how down bad it was.
We don't even know how true that was because that was all leaks. They never actually said that.
I thought they did confirm it.
No, the studios never did. It was
the studios never did?
No. They never confirmed any of that.
Okay. Well,
it was always rumors, but people like Charlie Intel, Modern Warzone did cover it because it was credible, like that was the case.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So sequel to Modern Warfare 2, chat. So this is what we know so far. Right, I'm gonna go down the list, and JGOD, let's talk about this because there's a lot to kind of go over. Sequel to Modern Warfare 2. It's supposed to be. This is the rumors, chat. I'm telling you guys this right now. I don't know for a fact like that this is what's happening. Right, this is just the rumors. Rumors are that we're pretty much gonna get a new map, right, and it's gonna be a lot of the old OG Modern Warfare maps in one huge BR map. A lot of the OG maps are going to come back to multiplayer, and we're going to get the old guns like the UMP, like all the ACR, like all these old style guns that like we're going to get them now. What everybody thought Modern Warfare 2 was going to be is what this next year is going to be, which from a business standpoint, it kind of makes sense. Like it's kind of fucked up. Like it's probably gonna be, it's gonna feel quite kind of like a remake or just a continuation of this, but with a bunch of OG nostalgic vibes. It's led by Sledgehammer. this is kind of the big one. Which, you know what? Let me go through this all. Outbreak 2.0 zombies. To be honest, I don't even remember what Outbreak is. I'll be honest.
Outbreak, I played it.
What is that?
For sure.
What is it?
It's in Cold War. It was in Cold War. Basically, you would load into a specific map, and then you'd have specific objectives. And then you can go through a portal, and it would take you through to a different map. And then you go through and do another zombies thing, and it would take you through a portal to another map. You'd eventually go through the different areas. Yeah, there was different objectives, Easter eggs. There was all kinds of stuff there. Also, people were able to glitch in and level their weapons. So
nice
stuff with that too. Yeah.
Okay, so listen, new Warzone map, Las Almas. Right, we're gonna break each one of these down, but I'm just gonna roughly go over it. Then August reveal event, which let's hope it's something huge like last time. The next event was amazing. They did an amazing job with that. Release date is scheduled to be November 10th, which I think this was already known that this was probably gonna be the release date. Season 1 starts December 5th, which more than likely that would be the start of Warzone, like the Warzone map, and then
Warzone 2.0 map 2. Yeah. Integration.
Led by Sledgehammer Games, right? So let's talk about this. There is a lot to go over here. And JGOD, I think let's break down some rumors and let's kind of like talk about it all, right? So sequel to Modern Warfare 2, this is not going to be, it's technically a brand new game, but it's just continuing off the storyline of what we know. So I have a tweet here. Where is my boy? Here we go. Here's Mr. Ghost of Hope, bro. All right. This, and I kind of like this, but from what we know, Infinity Ward is in charge of campaign, which
it's fine. They do a good campaign.
Hey, Infinity Ward, keep doing all the campaigns. Keep doing all the campaigns, all right? Like that's good, right? Sledgehammer Games is in charge of multiplayer, right? And Sledgehammer Games that they did Vanguard, and they did what was the one before Vanguard?
Well, technically they worked and did Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3. Okay. They also got lead developer for AW, Advanced Warfare, and then they came back with World War II, which is back to boots on the ground, and then they got Vanguard, which is another World War II title. Okay.
Then Treyarch doing Outbreak 2, which we know Treyarch pretty much does. I don't know, they can't really miss, at least from what I've seen. They don't miss. No. And then this last one is a question mark. We don't know for sure, at least unless he's stating that this is true, but Raven / High Moon and Beanox, question mark on the Beanox, I'm assuming, is doing Warzone integration. In a perfect world, this would be a fucking W. I don't know if people understand what this would mean. Okay, let's go back up to here and let's talk about this real quick. If that's my biggest question, is if this game was supposed to be a continuation, is Infinity Ward just being like, hey, here, Sledgehammer, take over, do whatever y'all want. Like, this is your guys' baby now. You can do whatever you want to Warzone. Like, this is your guys. You guys are now the lead studio. At the end of the day, you guys have the final say. Like, is that the way it's going to be? Or does Infinity Ward still have, like, a chokehold and be like, at the end of the day,
I don't think that's necessarily, like, I think they'll just hand it off because they're already going to be working on the next COD 2025 or whatever the hell,
Oh, God, bro.
You know what I mean? Like, because we're going to have this year, which is 2023, goes to 2024, will be Treyarch's title and whatever the hell they do with that. And then a year later will likely be IW's game, whatever the hell that is. Modern Warfare 2 or whatever the hell.
I was assuming they would.
Modern Warfare 4.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Whatever the fuck they decide to do. But listen, there's a lot to break down here, right? So Sledgehammer Games, if they announce this, Sledgehammer Games has been working on this for a while, right? I think the most common misconception is everybody's like, all right, away. First question I get asked, oh, but is it on the same engine? Oh, but is it on the same engine? Is it on the same engine? Let me correct me if I'm wrong, JGOD.
No, I want to talk about this too.
Yeah. But chat, the engine does not determine the movement, right? For example, we had slide canceling in the beta, and we had bunny hopping in the beta of this game. It was the same engine, right? You can fix the movement, all that stuff, but like they decided to change certain values and take things off, and that's why the game feels the way it does now. So, right at this next year, in November 10th, when Sledgehammer takes over, technically it can be on the same engine and they can technically make movement cracked if they want to. Correct me if I'm wrong, JGOD. That's my understanding.
No, that's accurate. So to my understanding, at least that's accurate. Pretty much, they've used the exact same engine from the beginning, and they just continue to build on it, right? So what we had in Modern Warfare 2019 was one engine, and I'm pretty sure they used that same thing for Vanguard.
Yeah, they did.
And then those games are completely different, even though they modified stuff. And then this one is an improved engine on that one. And improved doesn't necessarily mean the gameplay's improved. It just means how they utilize it is more optimized, better for them, so their workflow is easier. That's my understanding of it. With that. So I think it could be the exact same with 0 improvements, and it could be a completely different game.
Yeah, it can feel like, technically, guys. Okay, look, let me throw this out here real quick so everybody knows. Let me pull up this tweet. I want everybody to see this because I know, like, everybody's asking, okay, is Sledgehammer gonna be a W? Is Sledgehammer gonna pull things off? Can they? What is their opinion, right? And let me just bring up this tweet real quick. Let me just bring up this tweet. Look what. So Sledgehammer tweeted this out January 5th, and they said, "Advanced Warfare Movement, Chef's Kiss," right? So
how did I miss that one? That's crazy.
Sledgehammer tweeted out Advanced Warfare Movement and then the little Chef's Kiss emote, whatever. So honestly,
yeah, that's kind of crazy.
That is kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
From the main account too.
From the main account, I don't know if I'm not gonna say that they're gonna do it, but what I'm saying is, I think Sledgehammer is not opposed to doing buttery mover and having a skill gap. I don't think Sledgehammer, right, when they take over, guys, they can technically take over and just make this the most, technically, if they wanted to, like, they literally could make this next COD the most cracked COD ever with different movement. I think a lot of people are just concerned that they're like, oh, it's the same engine. Well, 2 games can be on the same engine, but they feel completely different. And I think that's just what I wanted. The biggest thing that I wanted to reiterate here and let everybody know is, if they do take over, we're not completely fucked. Like, I don't know how I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, they're gonna save us, but right now we're really down bad. And if we're gonna be transferring over to a studio that is not scared to take leaps, I mean, they literally made the first jetpack COD. They're not scared to take chances. I can see them even bringing back movement, bringing back something, whatever it may be, and taking a risk and seeing what the community likes, what the community doesn't like. So we'll see how that plays out. JGOD, what do you think after seeing that advanced movement tweet? What's your thoughts?
I mean, that's a cool kind of tweet. I don't know. It's kind of odd for them to reply to that. They could have just ignored it. So I don't know if there's too much to read into that, but yeah, that's cool. Obviously, that'll impact the multiplayer experience. I think when it comes to Warzone, though, we won't see a lot of changes or reflective. Like the same thing when Cold War came out, we didn't see Warzone completely be a new game.
True.
When Vanguard came out, we didn't see Warzone become a new game. Even though they did change stuff like the mount strafe and like that type of stuff, they were able to implement it because it was the same engine. They just retooled it.
Yeah.
I'm sure that there's things that maybe they could change over, but they have to like weigh everything, how it's going to impact DMZ, how it impacts Resurgence.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think when it comes to multiplayer, it's nice when a multiplayer game can be fun. Minimap functions properly. Your streaks work properly. You don't have a half an hour to set up a creative class. We don't need to do 10 attachments again.
True.
They fucked that up.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope they simplify attachments next fucking COD. I don't know. I think
we don't need tuning. We do not need it.
Oh, tuning, unless there's going to be a drastic difference, like a crazy difference, which right now it doesn't feel like there's a drastic difference. Like, just take tuning out. We don't just give us simple attachments and let us have fun with it. Like, if anything, give us more customization with like reticles, colors, things like that. Like don't put so much time and resources into
27 suppressors, but only 1 reticle per gun.
Think about it. That's fucking insane. I'm pissed off. Anyways, dude. Okay, so like they can put their resources in other things, and I hope that this year, like if anything, the feedback that we're giving now is probably gonna help them. Hopefully, Infinity Ward make a better game 2025. Because I'm scared for the next COD at that point, right? But forget it. Let's fucking continue. Let's go here. And so. New Warzone map, Las Almas. Let's talk about this, JGOD. I don't know about you, JGOD. I have heard about this for a while now. This rumor, like for a long time.
It's been leaked because it was shown off in like the gameplay, like from the campaign or something.
Yeah.
I know a long time ago there were certain devs that said, hey, they were working on something like out in the future. So maybe that's related to that.
Yes.
It looks a lot like the Blackout map. So I always assumed it would be related to like what Treyarch's working on. So maybe it's not this year's and they're just jumping on it because it got leaked early. I don't know. Maybe it is the new version, but it kind of, it's laid out 100% like an actual playable map. Yeah. But it looks smaller, which is good. Maybe it's a big resurgence map and not like, maybe it's like a 100-player map instead of 150 and not a 50 map. You know? It's like a medium map. Maybe it's a new map they're trying to go with and it's experiment, you know, and we'll still have, you know, all 3 maps.
Yeah. I don't know how this is going to work.
Medium, small, large. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
So I've heard about this rumor for a while now, and they told me that this was gonna be like the next big BR map, and that like it's gonna look like Favela. I think I read it somewhere. I don't fucking know. Like, but this has been the thing that's circulating for a while now, and to see that other people are tweeting about it now, it's like, okay, maybe they weren't wrong. I saw it and I was like, yeah, that might be a faded thing. I don't know, but Las Almas is looking like the next map that we're gonna have next year, and that. It's like, if you guys remember Modern Warfare, was it 2 or 3? Favela, the map Favela, or was that 1? No, it's not Modern Warfare 1. Is it 2 or 3? I don't know. Favela, you guys know which one that is, right? Yeah. So that it's gonna be inspired by that style, like of like that's what it's gonna look like, right? Modern Warfare 2. They say Modern Warfare 2. Okay. So Modern Warfare 2, that's what it's gonna look like. And I'll be honest, a lot of people have already shown hate to this map. It hasn't even came out yet, and so many people were like, nah, this is gonna be ass. I think the biggest reason why people are freaking out is because Caldera was arguably the most hated map ever created, and this map looks like Caldera from like a wide angle. Like, it just looks like dirt.
I don't know, it looks more like Blackout to me. Big ass ocean on the left, a dead space with windmills in the bottom right, probably like a dam in the top right. You know what I mean? Like, hot spot in the middle next to the river. Like, I don't know, it's yellow, so maybe that's why. But
yeah, I think because it this is grass up here at the top, right? Or you guys can't even see it. There's grass at the top, like right on the right corner, and but then there's like all this is dirt. So are we gonna get like?
And that could be snow too. It's hard to tell.
True. If there's no like, I like right now Al Mazrah. Like, Al Mazrah is good. I want a map that's a city. This is fine. As long as it's not open field. This is just open. These are just mountains and shit. It might be rocked. I don't know. We don't know. We don't know what's to come. We've heard so many different things. But a big thing that people are saying is that there might be multiple maps coming and in rotation, right? So I don't know how true that is. I don't know what's the case. But the new map, Las Almas, that's the leak, quote unquote. It's not confirmed yet. But are they going to bring, does that mean, okay, is Al Mazrah going to stay in the game, or is it going to be recycled off?
So I think like one of the biggest issues that they have is that they're trying to keep the gigabytes down. So maybe that's why they're going to go with the smaller map.
Okay.
And eventually they phase out the bigger map altogether. Who knows? And maybe we never play a 150 player maps anymore. It'll be 100. Because I know other games, like, they try to stay under 100 gigs.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, they're like 60 to 70 gigs.
Yeah.
And they'll take out content if they need to stay under that. And plenty of live service games do that. So I don't know how they would do it where they can focus that way, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Because Al Mazrah is big as hell.
Oh yeah, Al Mazrah is fucking massive. But it's like, honestly, I'm gonna die on this hill. I think Al Mazrah is a great map. It just has the worst fucking movement and playability possible. And I'm hoping that, you know, I don't know if anybody can agree with me, but I think it's a good map gone to waste, in my opinion, right? Like you put out a tweet, JGOD, the other day that was like, last year we got a horrible map with great like movement and great quality of life. Then this year we got a great map with horrible movement and horrible quality of life. Let's hope that next year we can get both. Can it happen? Probably not. Like, but like,
basically you're gonna have good gameplay but terrible map. Like, or Good map, but terrible gameplay.
So I mean, I don't know, guys. Again, when they say leak, is this confirmed yet, or is this just rumors?
No, I think all that is rumors. I don't even know where they leak it from.
Yeah, me neither.
I know that I was listening to Charlie Intel and Modern Warzone. They had their podcast.
Yeah,
they were talking about that the I can't remember his name right now. Somebody will know, but he basically gave them the heads up that was going to drop. Like he was going to drop the information. And that guy's been a long time leaker forever. It wasn't Hope. It was somebody else.
Okay.
But basically they leaked it, and it's very credible. They seldom miss on their leaks.
Okay. All right. So yeah. So
Tom Henderson.
That guy, Tom. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like, okay. So this, I don't really know what all this means, right? I'm glad. I mean, obviously it's good having, like, with the state of the game being this bad, and November 10th and like we're releasing a new game. Let's hope it's like people are like, okay, let's have a restart. If that's the case, let's have a restart. Like, I don't know if that's going to be the case. I don't know how good it's going to be. But again, if the rumors are true, and if, you know, Infinity Ward is doing campaign, which they're really good at doing, Sledgehammer is doing multiplayer, Treyarch doing Outbreak, and then Raven, High Moon, and Beanox, if they're doing Warzone, that's fucking amazing. Like, if that's true, I am happy. Like,
yeah, it sounds like a good scenario that way.
Yes. But again, we don't know if that's the case or not. We don't know if these rumors are true. We don't know what's the case. But what we do know is Sledgehammer Games is taking over come November, and from there we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens, man. I don't know, JGOD. Oh. I don't know. What do you think? It's gonna be good? Do you think it's gonna be like bad?
I don't know. I have my expectations kind of low. Like, I know that there's a lot of people that barely came back to COD of 2019. I played every COD, and one of my favorites, if not my favorite, is Modern Warfare 3.
Okay.
You know what? Modern Warfare 2 was cool. And my least favorite CODs have been Modern Warfare 2019 and Modern Warfare 2, this recent one. Those are my two least favorite CODs. People are like, what about Vanguard, in my opinion, was better than what we currently have, even with the shitty flames and all that stuff. And World War II theme, it was still better than what we have now.
True.
Cold War, even with its shitty graphics, its gameplay design was, besides the streak system, it was good. Maps were better than what we have. Spawns were better than what we have. Minimap worked like it's supposed to when you play a COD game, and that's kind of how it was. But
do you agree? Go ahead. Sorry.
So Sledgehammer Games, they kind of walked the line a little bit last year where they added a perk where you got your minimap to work. And I don't know if that was like a petty thing to do. Like, they just added that because they wanted to appease people, and then you sacrifice something. But better than nothing. What we have right now currently within Modern Warfare 2 is nothing to make it feel like regular COD. Yeah. Oh, you got a compass. Who gives, like, if you're looking at the compass, you are a bot. I promise you. In multiplayer, if you're looking at the compass, you are a bot. There's no question.
Damn. Yo, he's cooking right now. I mean, bro, I hope this was a learning experience for this year. But again, are they going to take the numbers because they called it Modern Warfare 2 and the nostalgic factor, right? And,
it's going to sell well, 100%.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I'm wondering, like, okay, for let's say the next game that Infinity Ward makes, are they going to be like, all right, hey, they love tactical game. They love tactical gameplay. Let's do another game of tactical gameplay because we sold record-breaking numbers. Do you think they know that they sold record-breaking numbers because it was called Modern Warfare 2? Or do you think it's because do you think that they think it's because it's tactical?
Well, I'll tell you this. I think they probably could lean into that, and they use that as leverage. So, for example, back when Warzone was first leaked, you know that you were supposed to do manual healing in Warzone?
Yes. I remember that.
Bandages on and shit.
Yes.
Glad they scrapped that shit. They probably were like, no, it's too much. And then once their Modern Warfare 2019 did well, they're like, all right, you guys get the clearance to do what you guys want. All right, cool. Let's go all in. And that's kind of what we ended up with. It feels that way.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I don't know what the future holds, man. I think overall, I'm excited for just to see something for a potential for there to be a new feel to the game, regardless of who's in charge. Right now, we know that that the game is the game is going to be tactical until they change. You know, that is what Infinity Ward wanted. Their goal was to make a tactical game, and I'll be honest, guys, they're going to probably try to make it as fast paced as they allow, but more than likely things probably won't change until November, until where there's a quote unquote new game with new people in charge that they can technically change the feel if they wanted to. Because that like if Infinity Ward wants to make a tactical game, what does Sledgehammer want? What
I will say though too is that it's good that it's Modern Warfare 3 because you know the theme's going to be fire. All the weapons are going to be fire.
Yeah. Like, I can't wait.
That was the problem with Vanguard, and that was the problem with World War II. They're both World War II.
Yeah.
But the games fundamentally, if they were modern shooters, they would have killed it.
I agree. If Vanguard was not a old school game, it would have been pretty. Like, I think it would have been fire. Like, I think you're right. What killed Vanguard was the old school theme, and you know, I think they shouldn't do any old school games for a very long time. Maybe until like
and if they do, they got to do it like Black Ops, and it'd be like Vietnam. That's the farthest you can go back. Yeah, we're not going back to World War II, World War One. You know.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. Again, let's just kind of recap. The update was, in my opinion, a mini W. This update. I'm not gonna sit here and say it's fucking amazing and it's gonna save Warzone, because it's not. It's gonna hold a lot of people off for the next month, but honestly, if nothing changes, even in general, like right now, I feel like a lot of people, even people here watching, because a lot of people tell me, hey, I don't even watch Warzone. I just come to your stream because I like the podcast and I like you, right? Like a lot of people in here probably already gave up on Warzone and they're just waiting for the next one to see what happens, right? Let's take this November when the new COD comes out as a refresh, and let's give the community what they actually fucking want. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like a lot of people, I can keep saying, oh, let's see what happens in season 4. Let's see what happens in season 5. But at the end of the day, so many people don't even care anymore. And we're pretty much shocked. No
matter what they do, they could drop Verdansk, Rebirth Island, switch up the movement. Is not saving it. This already year is essentially chalked until the new one.
Yeah, this year's chalked. And then again, every year we know we get a huge influx of new players. Now, Sledgehammer's job is to keep them. Let's see what happens, man, because we saw a huge fall off in this year. We had a hell of players, probably more players than we've ever had ever, and then people play the game and they're like, oh, this shit's fucking dog shit. And you know, I hope that things get better. But
and what I'll talk about too is, because this always comes up too when we're online, they'll be like, oh, look at the monthly active users and all that stuff, right? Well, before COD Mobile dropped, the number was a third of what the number is. So the number tripled with COD Mobile. So there's probably like 60% of that number is probably COD Mobile, you know? Damn. And it includes all old titles too. So like if you jump on and play Zombies for BO3, which is top 7 already on the marketplace today, I think, because people want to play Zombies on BO3, it's still like a top 7 seller or something crazy. On top of that, if you actually look at the trends, you can see that the downward trend after Caldera hit, and then it went down, and then it went back up. And then the month before the game dropped, it went back down because everyone was playing multiplayer. True. And then it went back up. And then it went hell down. But to people saying that we were like the changes in Caldera push casuals away is completely false. Because the data is right there. It shows that there's a spike before Modern Warfare 2 ever dropped.
Yeah.
So why would it spike if it would have just kept declining?
Yeah.
Because arguably there was the biggest changes that helped sweats back then, and it still went up. True. It doesn't do that. Like all of a sudden it inspired more sweats when they make up such a small percentage. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, like I think a lot of things, if you add, they say, oh, if you add too much of a skill gap, whatever, the casuals hate it or whatever. I just think people miss a good COD. Like that's just genuinely it. It's not necessarily about, like, it just needs to be a fast-paced arcade style shooter. Like that's it. Yep. They're overcomplicating things. I think along the way, kind of money kind of skewed things, and they lost the feel of what COD actually felt like back in the day. And you know, we'll see what happens, man. Again, you're right, JGOD. Somebody real quick said, do they have analytics for the player count back in Warzone 1 as opposed to Warzone 2. We actually just posted that, or like not player count, but we did streamer numbers.
Well, not head to head currently.
Yeah, but streamer numbers was like it just a rough estimate. I think it was I posted on the Pullze Check Twitter, but it was peak viewership for tournaments was 458K on Warzone
Something
1.
Crazy, yeah.
458K. And then so far this year, obviously it's not the end of the year, right? The peak viewership for us has been like 48 or like 51K. So if 450K versus 50K in viewership, like I know, don't get me wrong, I understand COVID, yes, I get it, but like look at number, like look at games.
COVID was already over by the time Caldera had that uptick too.
Yes.
Essentially, for all intents and purposes, it was already over. Like people were back to work, and that shit went back up still. True.
And so, like honestly, like shout out to Raven Software for last year turning Caldera from literally a shit show into a playable game where their player count was actually surprisingly pretty damn good. Like at the end, like if you guys go look up player count from beginning to end, it was pretty like from beginning to end, it was pretty like the same. But during the process, it dipped, then came back up at the end. Right? That's if you had to give a number, right, or whatever. Yeah. So we're hoping that this next year,
and this one's dipped and it has not recovered.
Yes.
No matter the update, it hasn't recovered. It's actually lower than that uptick at the end of Caldera, which is kind of crazy.
That's crazy. That's crazy to me, bro.
But COVID.
but COVID. So it doesn't make sense. I hate that theory. Again, there's a reason why.
The peak, yes, the peak Warzone would have been lower, but not the end of Caldera wouldn't have been lower because of Caldera, like because of COVID. Like its numbers were ass compared, but it went up. So it is what it is.
I mean, yeah. So I don't know, guys. We'll see. I mean, we'll see what's next for the COD community. It kind of sucks because we're kind of in a state of like kind of just waiting to see if they if they just go crazy on these next updates or not. Because like I said, I think this update was the first update where I feel like kind of things were kind of lifted a little bit. JGOD, how can I say this a little bit without getting in trouble?
I don't know. I feel like maybe IW's working on their next COD and it's released up a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like the whole tactical gameplay. This is the first update where they kind of said, okay, maybe we might not do a little bit of as tactical. I think they're letting off the grip a little bit. So this was the first update. I'm hoping season 4 they just fucking go crazy. I'm not gonna expect it, but.
Well, one thing that's still up in the air is kind of is that the whole World Series of Warzone right now is chalk.
That's what I was about to talk about.
Yeah. It's like they rescheduled. They don't even have dates. I'm glad I didn't buy my ticket yet. I'm supposed to fly to go.
Yes, you were supposed to be here right now. You were gonna be here right now.
Well, next week. Next week.
Yeah, next week. Yeah, sorry.
It's supposed to be next week. But still, I was like, all right, they still need quals, and then they need the finals. So it's like,
so
it's bad.
We don't know what the dates are right now. I'm like, I was so stressed the last week because we redid the floors. I had to tear down the setup, and I was like, oh my god, I pray they don't announce like today or yesterday was the qualifiers, because then I wouldn't have been able to do the watch party. So I'm assuming that everything got pushed back, even the finals. So, and they said they put out a thing in the Discord saying that they're going to re-announce things with a little bit of time for people to kind of like plan ahead of time. So I'm assuming like a week, maybe or 2 before they're going to announce it. So I would assume probably Monday they give an announcement saying, hey, next week or in 2 weeks from now, where the first qualifiers are going to be there. Then a week after that. So I don't know. Finals date. Yeah. Finals date didn't get pushed back. I'm just saying the stage 1 finals got pushed back. Stage 1 finals. Sorry. Let me reiterate. Yeah. So we'll see kind of what happens there. And I mean, it's fine. There's a lot of room to in the meantime, because there's technically like, what was it, like a month of stage 1, a month of stage 2, and then there was like a 2-month gap, I think, until the actual finals or something like that. So I feel like there's a lot of time in between that to work with. So I'm excited to get those popping. And the servers for me, like I said, look decent. Like I've played a lot of games in the last 2 days, and only 2 were bad. One was horrible, and one was like like it's not bad. So servers feel like they definitely got better, right? But I'm hoping that they're good enough to where they can actually play them. And obviously we know JGOD, they got removed, customs got removed, so there's no real practice right now. But ranked is, I guess, a little bit of practice.
Yeah, for a certain extent, yeah.
So
end games mainly because the top teams will make it to the end. Yeah.
I'm telling you that the games I played yesterday, that top 250 like grind, whatever, it felt actually like these guys were decent like players. It felt good. It felt like a custom. So let's hope that the servers are good, are better, and they stay like that. Shout out to the team because I know that probably was a crazy fucking feat to accomplish. And let's hope that they announce really soon because I'm ready to see some competitive Call of Duty, bro. I'm ready to see as competitive as it can get, right? But I'm ready to see some fucking Warzone. And I don't know, JGOD, thoughts on everything so far we talked about? Anything else you think we got yet to discuss?
No, hopefully they tease us with a little bit of stuff coming up. What plans? I think that'll get people hyped. Hopefully they consider having great rewards because it causes people to play stuff that maybe they hadn't even thought about playing. Rewards are so important to the gameplay loop that they neglected. It just makes no sense to me.
True.
You just hire one dude, animated camo. It could be like the camo that everyone's gassing up for the raid. Ain't even all that.
It's not that crazy, cool. But it's cool.
It's not, but it's cool. Yeah, that's it. Like you don't even need to go OD with it. Just do something. You know, like I don't know.
I agree. Like again, I'm debating on hopping on the raid when I was like, I literally told Shanice, I was like, ain't no way I'm doing no raid. She's like, why? It's cool. I was like, nah, like, and then she's like, what would she told me? She's like, what would make you want to play a raid? I was like, if there was a dope ass camo, I'll play the raid. And she's like, okay. And then literally, sure enough, they released this camo, and I texted her. I was like, Shanice, I'm playing the raid.
Yeah. I saw Aiden Mutex play it. I wasn't familiar with the other person they played it with, but that was just straight comedy.
True. I heard that like it's very hard. It's like
it's not too bad when you know what you're doing. Is not bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
So literally, if anybody ever wants, or any devs here ever want us to play, let's say a game that other players to play a game that they normally wouldn't, give us cool rewards like camos, not emblems and calling cards. Camos and like operator skins, I would definitely, dabble in some other things. But JGOD, any closing thoughts before we go? I think this was, there was a lot to talk about, but I think we got through everything relatively fast because it's just us two and we're just spitballing together.
Yeah. It just kind of goes through that way. Yeah, I think overall we're good. We're ready for. I still think like it's at least a step in the right direction, which is continue to do, and we'll have an update. Hopefully they tease us with some cool skins and cosmetics for season 4.
Yeah, Rob, good operators. Sorry, let me reiterate, good operators, Rob, not just. Hey, so guys, we don't really know what's to come. I'm hoping that they announce something very soon for a competitive Warzone, and next week hopefully we have another podcast about everything, and hopefully next week, if everything goes as planned, we'll have our first ever podcast from the upstairs room, like an actual podcast from there. And obviously I got a bedroom rating for JGOD whenever he wants it. So yeah, guys, so chat everybody in here, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning into the Pullze Check podcast. Let's hope things get better. I'm praying, but if not, we'll just wait for next year, and let's hope Sledgehammer cooks, bro. JGOD, any closing thoughts?
Nope, that's it. I think I'm ready to rock and roll. We'll see.
All right, guys. Alrighty, guys. We'll catch you guys in the next one, baby. Peace.